We come here today because we understand that there is indeed something in life much bigger than ourselves. We come here today on the last day of the year knowing that we did not make it here on our own steam. We did not make it here on our own talents, on our own abilities, not even on our own bank accounts. But we made it here on the account to the one who is able to keep you from falling. We made it here today to the one that we would sing as a child has the whole world in his hands. We come here today with this blessed hope that when the clock strikes 12 on tonight, that those things that were old have passed away, and that all things have become new. So we sing and shout the way we do, because we believe that this is a moment of transition. And like no other time in the year, not even Easter, not even Christmas, we come to church wanting God to do something. And we come to church wanting to do something. So as we sit on the brink of a new year, we find ourselves with these words and wanting to rejoice in the fact that it will indeed be finished. Whatever your circumstance is, it will indeed be finished. Whatever you've been going through, it will indeed be finished. Whatever creditors are calling you, hopefully it will be finished. Whatever sickness that you have, you're coming here today saying, I can put my right foot in front of my left foot. I'm clothed and in my right mind, and thanks be to God, it's finished. I'm not as well as I want to be, but I'm better than I was. And I'll dare to give God some praise for it is finished. The tears that I cried in the midnight hour are going to be at 12 noon, the joy that comes in the morning time. It is indeed finished. Some of us think that we just got to name it and claim it. I'm so tired of these jacklegs on the TV talking about name it and claim it. Some of y'all watching it too. Well, I wish these Reverend Hunters, Reverend Hunters not going to talk that garbage. But there are indeed some steps. You can name it and you can claim it, but you better take some steps for it to finish. In order for it to finish, you got to start. There are some things in our lives that never finish because we never really started them. We running in circles and we keep doing the same thing. We haven't really made Jesus our choice. And I know under the sound of my voice, 99.9% of everybody in here know that Jesus is able, but only a few of us will walk in the light that Jesus has us to walk in. We want to live by our own standards. And you can't finish some stuff in your life, and you're still in the same place you were 10 years ago because you haven't started. And if you're going to finish, you got to start. What are you talking about, preacher? Well, if you would rewind your DVD back to the Garden of Gethsemane, here Jesus is well aware of the agony that is about to come. And he's so well aware of this agony that he says, Father, let this cup pass from me. And when he comes to himself, he says, Lord, not my will, but thy will be done. See, in order for you to finish, you got to start with the Lord. You can't go to work without the Lord. You can't go to school without the Lord. You got to empty yourself of what you think is important, and you got to walk in the glory of God. What does the song say? Walk in the light, beautiful light, come where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright. Shine all around me by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. So in order for you to finish, you got to start. Look at your neighbor and say, you got to start. And I came here today to tell you that there's a lot of folks that's in church, but they never got started. Talk to God about what your conduct should be. Talk to God about who God is calling you to be. God has laid out all of God's blessings for you. And it looks like sometimes you're looking through a mirror and you're reaching at straws. But I dare you to say, God, I give up myself. It's not about You know what they are? You make excuses for them. You wallow in pity. But if you got some problems on your job right now, I dare you to just start packing your stuff up. Now, can I keep it real? Don't be no fool and pack your stuff up in front of your boss. Wait, everybody was gone. I started packing my stuff up because this thing was between me and God. It wasn't public yet. This thing was between me and God. I started packing up my stuff. It took so much, but I didn't have to pack. I just walked on out. Well, Andrew, don't you have to pack? No, my baby's pictures at home, and China and Shannon's pictures at home. The clock is at home. God already told me I was leaving. I was just waiting for my assignment. Folks will resent you when you dare to think that God is doing something for you, and they'll want you to run around and do the same stuff that they're doing, but they don't have your blessing. I'm not elitist, but I want to walk around folk that have God's blessing. I want to walk around folk that if I'm sick, we can pray. I want to walk around folk that's got some moral fiber. I want to be around folk that know the Lord. I want to be around folk that know that God is able. Because when the struggle comes, everybody wants to call on the Lord.